What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Celluloid Psychosis. I'm your host, TJ Bowser, and joining me, as always, is the very handsome, the very British, the King of Salisbury himself, Mr. Paul Ashford. What's up, buddy?
Hey man, I am good. I'm very good. I've had a decent week. It's been very cool. Been off from work, been doing bits and bobs. Had some good food with my girlfriend. We've watched quite a lot of Better Call Saul now as we finish Breaking Bad. But most importantly, I've had a couple of physical media show up this week. Um, Finally got myself a copy of From Beyond in 4K. Got the 88 films release, beautiful box set, beautiful hard case, and I also finally picked up the Synapse release of The Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue, which I've been after for a long time, but it always goes for a lot of money here in the UK. But I saw one popped up on eBay and I snapped it up pretty damn quick. But yeah, man, it's been a good week. It's been a good week. Been chilling. Been to theme park, doing roller coasters. Yeah, man, it's been good. It's been good. How about you?
Man, just, another day of hard work, just busy all week long,
Mhm.
but settling in at the new job really, really nicely. Got a lot going on with local politics stuff as local elections ramp up here May 20th. So we're all hands on deck over here in Butler County. But I'm excited because this week it is my pick, and it's a film that I watched a lot as a kid on the Sci-Fi Channel, which is even mentioned in the
Excellent.
movie.
Hmm.
And I loved it as a kid, love it now. I have the first movie in all of the formats it's ever been released on because I love that movie so much. Uh, People can think it's shit. I think it's cinematic perfection. And of course, we're talking about Jack Frost 2, Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman from 2000, directed by Michael Cooney and written by Michael Cooney. Of
Hmm.
course, starring Christopher Alport as Sam Tyler? Yeah. Eileen Siley as Ann Taylor, whatever. Chip Heller as Joe. Marcia Clark as Marla. Scott McDonald reprises his role as Jack Frost. Ray Cooney as Connell Hickering. Yeah. And David Allen Brooks as Agent Manners. Sean Patrick Murphy as Captain Fun. Ian Abercrombie as the psychiatrist. And Doug Jones, of all people, as Dave.
I know those last two names. I couldn't believe were in this. Ian Abercrombie and Doug Jones. I, I guess more kind of cameos.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was like, wow, what are they doing in this?
I
And
think
it's
they
good,
understood what was going on, Paul.
yeah, it was good to see Doug Jones without any, not in a suit or as in a monster suit or tons of makeup or anything like that. Yeah, played a real acting role.
So if you haven't watched the first movie, go do it now or you'll be lost in the sauce. Plot of this one is Jack Frost, the chiller. Wait, start this over again. Jack Frost, the chiller killer, is back, and he's mad as hell. An accidental lab experiment resurrected the evil snowman, but this time, the crystal killer can't be stopped by fire, bullets, or even his worst enemy, chemical antifreeze. With revenge on his mind, Jack sets out to finish off his nemesis, Sheriff Sam, who is vacationing on a Caribbean island. Sam's balmy paradise turns into winter terrorland when Jack freezes the island and quickly ice everyone's around him. No one can stop the killing spree when Jack can travel as lethal liquid or fatal frosty flakes, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the fridge. But yes, so, you know, it's a killer snowman movie. You go in, you
Yep.
watch this movie, you know it's a killer snowman movie. That
Hmm.
everything that comes with that is to be expected. And of course, it's R rated. We're watching the MVD release, the absolute perfect MVD release. Paul watched it in, did you watch it in 4:3 or widescreen, Paul?
Widescreen.
Widescreen. The one I did, because of the beautiful
Wow.
MVD release,
Yeah.
has, of course, HD scan of the film and everything.
Yeah.
But
Very.
there's a theatrical look version.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes the movie like look really, really, really good.
So when I originally watched this way back in the day,
Yes.
I watched it on VHS in the UK, so it looked weird because straight away I could tell what's going on here because it was. Well, I didn't know, but I didn't know at the time, but it was shot on video and it's got that weird
Yeah.
soap opera look to it. And I was like, oh, I remember watching it. Thinking, what's going on here? But also, sadly for us in the UK, the film was cut to shreds. It was
Yeah.
it was rated 15, but it got absolutely torn to shreds. So much gore. I mean, I didn't know until I saw this version.
Mhm.
So much gore was taken out. The nudity was taken out. Some of the swear words and that were taken out. Bizarre
There's a lot
cuts.
of gags and like stuff that makes this really, really a
Yeah,
fun
yeah.
movie.
Every kill, it
Mhm.
seemed, had the gore missing or the close-up shots or whatever missing. But yeah, for some reason they completely butchered it. I don't know why, because it got a 15 rating. I don't know why they didn't
The
go with an 18
kills are
rating.
exquisite. My friend Joe Castro, I believe, worked
Yeah.
on this film, and slapstick comical type kills, but
Mhm,
they're
mhm.
so gory and so well done,
Yeah.
especially the anvil kill.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Snow anvil, yeah. I did like that one in particular. So that's when he's trying to kill her with the icicles.
Yeah, so he's like,
They're just
oh,
landing all around her.
a little rusty.
Yeah. She just avoids everyone, and suddenly a giant snow anvil, like Acme style from Looney Tunes, crushes her to
Smashes
death.
it.
And you see a crushed body as well, don't you?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You like, and then those people come across her crushed body with the pool of blood and all
Yes,
that kind
they
of stuff.
reuse the gag, and it's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Fucking
But
A.
yeah, that was my intro to this movie.
So this movie's like Jaws 2,
Mhm,
it focuses on the sheriff of the town and kind
mhm,
of like his PTSD with dealing with the incidents of the first movie, and then him kind of doing something to kind of take his mind off of it, but then all of a sudden he's thrust back into it,
mhm.
kind of like Chief Brody in Jaws 2, where he has to defend his kid,
Okay.
but yeah,
Yep.
he has to defend himself and his family here because he's on a fucking Caribbean island. He can't get off.
Mhm.
Anyway, and I'd put this up there with Jaws 2 because this movie is a terrific sequel to a terrific movie.
Yeah. It
And
could
I
almost
wish the
be.
third movie would have got made, and we'll talk about that later.
Surely it's more Jaws: The Revenge, and wouldn't that set
Don't
tropical?
start.
No, no. I mean, as in the location. Wouldn't
Yes, it
Jaws:
would be.
Revenge is tropical islands kind of stuff, wouldn't it? With the
Yes.
Michael Caine and the Jamaican guy.
The Jamaican guy in this
Yeah.
one, his accent is hilarious.
Mhm.
Oh my God. Ugh.
But yeah, this film's wild. It's wild. Um, it was nice seeing an uncut version.
Mhm.
It looks super clean. I watched the version that's not been filtered, so it's
Mhm.
still like the video soap opera, which adds a weird. Just the whole thing
Yeah.
feels weird, almost like I'm watching a play, like
Yeah.
a play on the screen. It's just bizarre because it's like it's done like a soap opera, but it's
Oh, and the
gory,
lighting doesn't help
swearing,
at
a
all.
bit of nudity. Yeah, the lighting is it's bizarre. It's
The
bizarre.
cheap backdrops. I love it so
Mhm.
much.
I mean, the film starts off with someone is told him where they buried Jack
Yeah.
Frost or his antifreeze stuff, and then he's in
Well,
the
no, the
lab.
movie starts off in the psychiatrist office with,
Oh, that's right, with
Sam and a
Sam.
psychiatrist kinda going over the first
Yeah,
movie, the events of the first movie, like any good sequel does, it recaps the events of the first movie,
yeah,
but it kind of, like, makes it a joke of it because the,
yeah. That was a bit weird.
psychiatrist is, like, playing his,
People are
session
listening on
over the
speaker, aren't they?
loudspeaker so
Yeah,
his,
yeah, yeah.
assistant can help, and they're all giggling in the background, and then it kind of all culminates into this big laughter section and everybody making fun of him because he sounds ridiculous talking about this mutant killer Snowman character. Uh,
Mhm.
so then they, go on a vacation. Everybody convinces them to go on a vacation, and then we get the thing that Paul's talking about, where we have this people dig up Jack, who's in the antifreeze, and they take him back to this genetic lab,
Mhm.
and then have him in this tank of antifreeze, and kind of are like doing tests on him. And is it coffee that
Yeah,
resurrects him?
yeah. For some reason, the guy the cleaner accidentally knocks over a cup of coffee, doesn't he? And it
Yeah.
lands in the antifreeze and
And then we get the
Jack
awesome
is
Jack
beautiful.
Frost shot, just like we got in the first movie, where it
Mhm.
zooms in on a microscopic level, and that somehow explains the science of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the CGI bits on that is like icicle.
Yeah.
It's like it's
The
funny. It's
CGI in this
fun.
movie is top notch. Like, it
Yeah.
is much better than modern Disney. Uh,
I mean, it's weird because I guess I read this film was actually shot in 1998, but
Yeah.
was shelved and wasn't actually released until 2000. So
It looks pretty damn good. I
I suppose,
like
yeah, I
how,
suppose that the CGI is
yeah.
hilariously bad, but it is 1998 CGI we're talking about,
And for, like, the
um,
budget and everything.
and it fits in with
Yeah.
the
The
style
feel.
of the movie, the
Mhm.
feel, yeah, the feel, the atmosphere. It just adds to it really. But that first kill is actually really cool.
Mhm.
When he spills coffee in, and then Jack
Well,
bursts out
Jack,
with
like,
the
emerges by exploding.
yeah, and then that guy gets the icicle through the face, doesn't
Yeah,
he? And
like,
he's
kind of,
yeah,
like, impales him right through the mouth and
yeah,
stuck in the
yeah, yeah,
wall.
yeah. And then he's got frosted glasses and everything.
Jack's back! Yeah.
Yeah. And he says like something like, "I've got revenge to do, or revenge on my
Yeah.
mind," it's like that, isn't it? Yeah. Um, how does Jack know that Sam is on a tropical island?
So, it is discussed throughout the film that in the first movie, Sam bled into Jack during the scuffle in the antifreeze. So that combined the DNA of
Okay,
Sam and Jack. So that means they're eternally connected. So that's
he
why
knows
Jack was
where he is.
able to track Sam, which leads into the finale of why they are able to find out how to
Yeah,
kill Jack
how to
again.
kill him. Yeah, yeah. I didn't actually catch on to that. I got the banana. Oof, almost spoiled it. I got the way they killed him because they linked
One of my okay, I'm gonna
movie.
skip ahead real quick. One of my favorite scenes in this movie, and I know it came from like somebody reading the script and being like, "But he wouldn't have been there." There's a scene where a character's talking to another character, and it's Agent Manners is talking to Sam about a conversation that he had with another character while Sam wasn't around,
Hmm.
and but he's like delivers the dialogue, and Sam the character acknowledges that he wasn't there for that conversation. And then Manners just goes, "Oh, that's right," and then moves on with the scene. Somebody read the script, pointed that out to the fucking director, and the director's like, "I'll just have the character acknowledge it."
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool, and
That
it comes out of nowhere. It's a
well,
comedic moment as fuck.
that kind of reminds me of the scene as well. Then close towards the end, or it's kind of just over halfway, when Jack Frost spits out the snowball.
Yeah.
We then find out it's a baby snowball, and he's like, "Oh well, I'm out of here," and he just like, disappears into the snow, and just for no reason, he just spits that out. I don't know what's going on. I go, "Oh, I'm out of here," and you don't see
That
him
needs
for
to
like
be a
20.
meme. Like,
Yeah,
peace out.
and then he just disappears for like what 20 minutes or so of the movie.
Oh yeah, then the movie turns into this little rubber monster movie, and
Uh
it's fucking awesome. But before we get there,
huh.
we're treated with like this variety of deaths because Jack has to get to
There's a
the
lot.
island, and he
Hmm.
like goes into this cooler, and he travels on this raft and shit, and like there's this whole thing of him going to the island. It eventually
Hmm.
gets there, and boy, does he just start immediately wreaking havoc and killing people. And of course, we get the Jaws thing of no, there's not actually anybody killing anybody here. Then the other,
Hmm.
then we get the creepy Quint like character, which is Agent Manners, who comes in. He's like,
Hmm.
yes, there is a killer. He's like, there's 3 people dead, and then yeah, all that stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, and then of course Jack shows up, makes himself well known. And Kill, like we said,
Hmm.
phenomenal shit. What else was there?
Well, can I say what my favorite
Yeah,
kill? My favorite kill was Colonel Hickering. Like, I mean, Colonel Hickering is a hilarious character anyway. He's like the British, dressed up like a British. You've got the hat. He's like
yeah,
like a old war guy from Africa or something. He's like the guy that kind of runs the island.
yeah.
But it's like the shock kill as well, because you think it's all over. You think Jack Frost is dead. He's just talking to the Jamaican guy, and then suddenly you get the icicle comes up through his chin,
Yes.
out through his mouth, just out of nowhere, and that was actually a solid effect because
Yeah.
you can tell it was like a dummy's head, but it actually looks pretty well done, just out of nowhere. Kill like that,
My favorite kill.
which was not in the VHS that I watched as a
No?
kid, or as a kid. No, it wasn't. I was
That's
2000
fucked.
in 2000. Yeah, that scene, it just cut. I actually googled it because I was like, I swear this was not in the movie I watched.
Mhm.
And yeah, there's a breakdown on an internet page, and literally it just cuts to the Jamaican guy looking shocked like
And
that.
it's funny because both
You can
movies
see
are
the
the
hat.
exact same runtime, like both cuts, so that it's
Yeah,
impossible to tell unless you've watched them.
Yeah. They just like insert different scenes, like non-gory bits. So that was like a real shock kill. And I thought it was really cool because the effect looked really good. And then almost straight away, Jamaican guy gets killed as well. You just see something flash across the screen, and he's got like a sliced throat.
Yes.
So I would say that's my favorite kill, but probably the most grisly kill for me was the model in the swimming pool,
Yes.
because I'm afraid of water myself. I can't
Uh-huh.
swim. So we get the nice bit of gratuitous nudity. She's like
Yes.
dipping her feet into the pool, and she goes for a swim. Jack Frost comes along. I forgot what his one liner was. Oh yeah, I fancy a bit of breaststroke. Or
Yes.
something like that. Like, yeah, she's like swimming naked in the pool, and he dips in his
His hand. Yeah.
hand or
Yep.
paw. No, it's not. His like snow
Yeah.
hand.
His hand. It looks like a mitten.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to freeze her to death, but no, he just literally freezes a layer on top of the swimming pool, and
And
then
then stands over top and watches her
yeah,
drown.
and she can't get out, and she's like, and that for me is actually quite a grisly, horrible death.
I like the
Mm.
model in the woods who's playing with the ice cubes, and then her fucking
Well,
head explodes.
yeah, why? Why does that happen? Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, they're doing a model shoot, and she's got a bikini on, and like showgirl style, her nipples aren't
Mhm.
showing enough. You know, like that scene in Showgirls reminded me of.
Jack's monologue while he is the ice cube is
Yeah.
hilarious, and then followed it up by her like putting it in her mouth, and
Hmm.
then like him like still doing the monologue as she starts chewing the ice. It's like
Yeah,
ah ah,
yeah.
and then she like you realize like Jack's in her fucking head now, and it's just like
Yeah,
boom.
boom, explodes everywhere, and then that obviously leads to another death.
Yeah,
The
Asian
uh,
guy.
the photographer, Asian guy, yeah,
Yeah,
he's very camp. Um, you don't get to see him, do you, Di? But he's got obviously Jack takes his camera, and then you just see these Polaroids flying on
yeah.
the
Jack's
floor of
taking selfies while
him.
beating
Yeah,
the shit out of him.
that's quite a cool way he did that. You know, the
Yeah.
selfies are just the photos are just landing on the floor, and yeah, you just see those different shots of him
It's
dead
just
or
gag
being
after
murdered.
gag. Like even that shot when Captain Fun's like, "Oh, I got an idea," and he looks at the camera, and
Yeah.
then he like does his pose, and then it fucking like flashes to another scene, and he's in the exact same position, and it zooms out real quick, Dario Argento style,
Hmm.
and it's like everybody he's at a fucking party. It's so good. It's so fucking good.
And you get, I know one I like is the barbecue tongs in the eyes.
Yes, he's like,
Just like
"Does a shark do this?"
yeah. And yeah,
Uh,
this is so much gore. And there's no when he throws a snowball, just rips the guy's arm off. The whole guy's arm just
yes.
gets ripped off by the snowball. I mean, there's a lot of kills
The
in this.
massacre scene when Jack comes up, like after he freezes the island and like all those guests are there, and he just
Hmm.
starts throwing icicles
Yeah.
everywhere, and
Hmm.
it's just gnarly, and there's just dead people stuck to walls
Hmm.
everywhere. And we get a slow panning shot of all these dead people, and it's just gnarly. I love it so much. Uh,
But yeah, it's crazy. And then, like we mentioned, the film they think they can kill him with antifreeze,
yeah,
don't
because
they?
they do the whole antifreeze thing,
'Cause
and
that's
they
from the first movie, isn't it?
mhm.
That's how they managed to kill him. But he somehow, he's kind of he can survive antifreeze.
Genetics. What is it?
Yeah.
Illegal genetic experimentation's a
Mhm.
bitch or something like that.
So you get like the kind of fake ending scene.
You get a
Sam keeps
half melted
exploding.
type fucking
Yeah,
Jack too, and it's
yeah.
cool.
He melts into like that pool, doesn't he?
Mhm.
And it's all like foam and stuff. But then he suddenly, yeah, it comes back, and everyone's like shocked. And he spits out a snowball and goes, "All right, I'm out of here," and then just disappears into the floor for no
And of
reason.
course, everybody suspects the snowball. What the hell is it? And then we talk,
Yeah.
and then happens like we talked earlier, the 20 minutes of the Little Rubber Monsters movie
Uh
that
huh.
happens out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
absolutely nowhere.
And we get like a carbon copy rip-off scene from Critters 2, which I thought was hilarious. So it got this one killer snowball, and suddenly it cuts to Agent, I forgot his
Manners.
name, Agent Manners. Yep, Agent Manners, and he walks into this barn, doesn't he? And the barn is surrounded by these snowballs, and he's on. That's what they're on the phone telling him that it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And he goes to leave, and suddenly he gets his fingers chopped off, and yeah. There's like mini killer snowballs all over the barn,
Everywhere.
and they all
Yeah.
attack him. Oop. And that completely reminded me of the barn scene from Critters 2,
Mhm.
with I forgot the guy's name, the old guy. And again, he's in the barn, and there's the baby critters are bouncing around everywhere, and they chop his toes off rather than his fingers, and then yeah,
Mhm.
he's dead. But there's some really cool effects actually
Mhm.
with the little baby killer
Jacked.
mutant
Yeah.
snowballs or the killer babies, and they get some of the funniest scenes in the film. I think. Obviously, I'm a bit biased because it's Little Red Monsters, little rubber snowballs, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's just that one in the blender, and they're trying to figure out how to kill it, and
Yes.
he's like talking to them and stuff, and they're like they blend him, and they think they've killed him, and then he just forms back to life. It's just hilarious. And he's like wisecracking and making jokes and stuff.
They do all this thing to try to kill him, and it's
Yeah,
constantly like, oh.
Everything they try, nothing works, which is
Of
really
course,
fun.
it's awful CGI, and then whenever you do see them on screen, it's like you can see the seams and shit and where they're
Yeah,
made.
yeah, yeah,
And I think
yeah.
it just adds like to the whole atmosphere and style of the movie. It's
Hmm.
awesome. Like the more absurd it gets, the more like entertaining it is. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I say I found it a bit jarring to start with. You're like, oh god, this is like it looks weird because it's film and
Mhm.
video. The acting's all over the place. The comedy's like what the hell. But then you just suddenly you get into it. But like you said, you're not going to watch a film called Jack Frost 2: Revenge of the Killer Snowman. No. And
They knew what
expect,
movie they were making. They got a little
yeah,
bit more money to do it this time. They're like, let's
yeah,
just take it to the most extreme, take him
yeah.
into a place where he couldn't exist. And yeah, and I think
It's
that it just pulls it off. It has
it's
everything.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of the Gremlins 2, I guess. It's just like wild. So
Yeah,
the first film had a bit of a serious tone to it, didn't it? Jack
it
Frost's
did.
first one.
It did.
Yeah, it was more of a serious, you had that scene with Shannon Elizabeth and stuff. That was actually pretty serious. And
Yeah.
this one's just like, no, we're going to go all out crazy, humor, wild in this one, which they did. And yeah, I'd love to know the reason why it was shelved for a couple of years.
Mhm.
I did have a quick search online, but I couldn't see anything as to why. But I don't know on that one. But yeah, it's wild. It's just super silly, overacting, crazy comic book style characters almost, and yeah, and the funny tropical island setting. Um, yeah, lots of stereotypical characters. You get like the busload of like teenage girls, and then the
Yeah.
models and the photographer and stuff like
You
that.
can definitely tell the budget was bigger and they spent it all on women.
Yeah,
They had Shannon Elizabeth in the first one, and this one they have a
yeah.
whole busload.
But the actual Jack Frost looked pretty cool. I thought. The
Yeah, I think
suit or whatever it is
he
he's
looks
wearing.
better here than ever, and I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
bigger too,
Mm. Yeah, because I
much
think in the
bigger.
first one you don't really get to see too much of him as a whole cat.
You don't you only see like
No.
his arm and shit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
They do it here again too. It's just when you do see him, he's just this hulking, massive character,
yeah.
and I love it so much.
I did really find the scene really funny when it's Sam and he finds his nose, Jack's nose, like this
Yes,
carrot on the floor in the snow, and he goes to pick it up, and then you see a snowman
and he
approaching
beats
from
the
behind.
shit out of it with a
Yeah,
motor.
and then it's obviously the fancy the costume party, and it's poor Colonel Hickering
Yes.
dressed up as a snowman. And yeah, just beats the hell out of him with a snow shovel, I think, or not like a shovel, which is like a
The
cool because
guest could not be attacking the staff.
yeah.
Uh,
um, but yeah, it's just wild. I'd say my favorite character was Colonel. Actually, Colonel Hickman was cool, but
yeah,
Agent Manners, just because
yeah.
he's so badass. And it's funny because his character was in the first movie, and you kind of thought he was dead,
Mhm.
but it's actually played by a different actor in this one,
Yes.
isn't it? So and he explains that.
Yes,
He goes,
early
"Oh yeah,
on.
15 lots of plastic surgery. This is why I look like this now." And he's got the eye patch on as well, because obviously he was eaten, half eaten by the Jack Frost in the first movie.
Yeah.
But he just hilariously overacts every scene, which is brilliant. Um, kind of felt bad for his death because he was all by himself.
Mhm.
I was hoping to see more from him, but yeah, they killed him
The
off
only way
quite
they could have
quickly.
made that better is if his eye patch switched sides each scene. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That would
Uh-huh.
have been so much better. There should have been no eye continuity at
Yeah,
all.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, the acting was good. Oh well, good. It was everyone knew what they were
It
doing.
was exactly what you'd think it would be for the movie called Jack Frost 2: Revenge of the Mutant Killer Snowman.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think yeah.
You can't really do this serious and then also be funny. You know what I mean?
No, no, no. But yeah, it's so. But I would never recommend this film to anyone that's not a fan of. I want to say bad movies, but like
Yeah, good
those
bad
type
movies.
good bad movies. Yeah, you wouldn't just if you got a friend who doesn't like watching horror films, you don't go, "Oh, you should watch this one. It's really funny," because they will not find it funny. You need to be like a genre fan, low budget genre fan to appreciate this. the film, I would say. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just so. I mean, it's way better than the VHS version I watched all those years ago. Just because if it was cut still, I probably wouldn't have been half as enjoyable.
And that was the problem when I believe MVD released the original Blu-ray, is that
Yeah,
they only included the TV cut, so they had to re-release another edition. So there's
really.
two different barcodes, and I had to make
Oh,
sure
I
this
didn't
was
know
the
that.
right barcode. That
Mm-hmm.
this one's the updated version with only the R-rated cut on it. So,
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's wild that the version I saw and didn't enjoy all these years ago was just some like heavily cut.
and did you watch the credits where they preview what
Oh
would have
yeah,
been
there's
the
two
third
scenes after the
movie?
credit. Yeah, two scenes after the credits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was hilarious in itself. So yeah, the credits are rolling, and then you get this hilariously, purposely, badly dubbed couple of Japanese guys on the boat.
Which 100% was in is a script for the third movie. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
Michael never made it because he can't get the funding.
can't get the
Which,
funding for
hey,
it.
if you
So,
need a marketing guy to crowdfund it,
yeah, and yeah, you get the scene. It's like a suggesting that Jack is now the size of Godzilla. I think they actually
yes,
call him Jack. Do they call him Jackzilla in that scene?
Jacksonville, yes, that would have
Yeah.
been the name of the third movie.
Uh-huh. And then they're on a boat, it's like a miniature in like a bathtub or something, I would guess. Yeah, it's real funny. But then right at the very end as well, after the credits, there's another scene with I forget their names. It's the deputy sheriff and his wife. I guess they're about to get married on the island, and there's the weird scene in the film when they're trying to escape Jack Frost. And where would you escape a giant killer snowman? In the freezer. I don't know why they chose that, but they go and lock themselves in the freezer, and then they're never seen again in the movie. But then
Yeah.
right after the credits, if you watch right past all the credits, there's a quick scene of her shouting out from behind the freezer, asking if anyone's out there to let them out. But yeah, tons of kills in this movie, tons of practical effects, even though the effects are a little bit hokey in
Yeah.
places. It's just wild. It's just like you could tell everyone in it is having a laugh as well. Everyone's enjoying themselves. But yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah, it's
it.
one of those movies that seems like everybody had a good time making it. It's
Yeah.
it's all very, very silly, and even when you get to the end with everybody shredding up stuff, food,
Hmm.
and to kill Jack in the final face off and all. It's really, really fun. It's all really well done. I think Michael knew what he was making here, and
Yep.
everybody on set knew exactly uh, what the assignment was.
Yeah, and then there's a testament. They got, what was there, 4 or 5 people from the first movie in this as
Mhm.
well. Same actors, actresses. So that was really good. So you can
And it's
tell.
funny, Scott McDonald, the guy who voices Jack, you
Hmm.
see him briefly in the first movie. He has a cameo on The West Wing as a White House exterminator.
Yeah.
It's just like, of all things in the world, I was watching the West Wing the other day, and I was like, "Hey, Killer Snowman!"
The thing that's really shocked me after reading a bit about this movie, and it's very sad. I don't know if you saw it, but Christopher Allport, the guy that played Sam, the main guy, did you hear what happened to him in real life?
No,
He passed away in 2008 from an avalanche of snow,
no, he
and
didn't.
that's not even a joke. That's like real.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
I know. In Santa Clarita, I think it was. He was skiing, and it was 3 people died. There was a Wikipedia article about it.
That's
So that,
wild,
that is
dude.
wild. That is. I was like, whoa, that kind of makes it a bit more
Say chilling.
creepy,
Say chilling.
chilling. I was going to say chilling.
Ah!
It does, though, isn't it? It's just weird how that,
Yeah.
because would you say this? I mean, I recognised him. But this is the only film, well, 2 films that I remember him from. I know he's done TV stuff and some other stuff,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's wild. But yeah, very sad, obviously, but just
Mhm.
wild how it happened. But yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Paul?
Um, like I said, I'd recommend it to people who are into bad but good horror, sci-fi genre films.
And it's still
Um,
kind of like a Christmas movie. They still got Christmas shit
yeah,
going
no,
on.
it's weird because they're on a tropical island, but there is a Christmas tree in there, isn't there? There's
Yeah.
some Christmassy scenes in there as well. Um,
And it takes place a year after the first movie, exactly. So it's still
yeah,
Christmas.
yeah. I would say to people, don't be put off by the look of it, although there is the filtered version. But
Yes.
yeah, for some reason for me, it just that shot on video was like, oh man, this looks like a TV show. This is like a soap opera, like a cheap soap opera kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Sitcom.
no, it's not. Yeah, yeah, sitcom. Yeah, is that what you call it? We call it a soap operas.
Situational comedy.
Okay.
Like Seinfeld.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I guess
This
that
is
sort of
this
thing.
kind of had the visuals of that, but didn't have the audience clapping in the background and laughing with them.
Hey, that might be funny. Maybe they should do that.
That would be pretty funny.
Do a laugh track version or something like a yeah. But yeah. What is there else? What else is there to
Not
say?
much. If you like this stuff, go buy it. It's rather cheap right now. Like we said, we highly recommend the MVD version. Uh,
Hmm.
I know, Paul, this wasn't your favorite film of all time. Would you rate this out of 5?
Oh, it's hard to rate, isn't it? Because if you're rating it as a film, as a movie,
Mm.
I'd have to rate it quite low because obviously it's
Yeah, if you're
yeah.
comparing like The Shining.
As a film, I would I'd probably go as low as two out of five. But
Mhm.
to the right audience, this film's amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah. To the right people, you probably feel 5 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5 because you're just having a great time with it. So it's kind of hard to rate. But how would you rate it?
Yeah, I would go 5 out of 5 just because it's
Hmm.
everything the film of this title should be.
Yep. Is it
Uh,
better than the first one?
it has a slightly different tone, like it does the
Very
Spinal
different.
Tap
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, but at the same time, I kind of like the fact that the bigger budget lended to overall a more fun film. So,
Yeah. I mean, you say
yeah,
bigger budget. It couldn't have been that big a budget
no.
because
But the first one, I felt like it was made on a shoestring.
yeah, I guess so.
Who knows?
I prefer this one to the first one, but I'm biased because of the little killer snowballs.
Yeah, that kind
You
of
get
like,
you get like 10, 15 minutes of little rubber monster stuff going on, which is
and you
funny.
can't beat that. Yeah,
No, no, no. But yeah, no. 2 out of 5 or 5 out of 5 depends on who you
depends.
are.
Yeah, depends on how you view the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Will you pick up the 4K when MVD do that?
I sure hope they do a 4K of this. That and the first one. I know they have the rights for the first one.
Oh,
Vincent
do they?
used to. I have the Vincent release of Jack Frost 1,
Yeah,
but I
that's
know
what I
that
do.
they
I didn't like
they
the cover they did for Vincent of the first one. There was like
no?
a because obviously for me, it's probably the same in the US, but Jack Frost always had the lenticular
Yeah, where he looks like a normal
VHS
snowman and then
cover.
he's evil.
Yeah, I think I actually didn't. I bet you've got didn't the limited edition Vincent want to have that,
I
but I only
think.
got the standard one. Oh, there you go. That's the original cover. That's fine. But on the inside, it's just like a art style version of it, and I was like, yeah, I didn't get to pick up that copy. That's cool. I like that. That's very cool. Did part two come with that as well?
I don't know.
Didn't-
Still
No.
sealed, Paul.
Oh, that's the VHS. I thought that was a Vincent one you had. Yeah, that's very cool. Very cool indeed. But
Yeah,
sorry.
1996 is the.
Oh, the release date still sealed. Would you unseal it to get a signature on it if Michael Keaton was at the convention?
Dario Argento's Count of Nine Tails sealed on VHS.
Oh, nice, nice.
92 is the date on this.
I always feel bad for you guys in America. All your videos had like cardboard sleeves. We had big chunky plastic
Oh, we
envelopes.
had those too. They just eventually got phased out,
Hmm.
and they were like more for like boutique releases. And like Disney had
Yeah,
theirs. Yeah,
we had nothing in cardboard. I was a
you're thinking of stuff like this.
like clamshell, that sort of stuff. Yeah, yeah. All the yeah. So all the video store rental blockbuster stuff came in those boxes.
The
Then the
corn
sell through
shucker.
stuff was in like smaller plastic boxes.
This is a yellow tape.
Oof, very nice.
This is a limited edition of the movie The Corn Shucker, one of the greatest movies ever made. Think of it like a Midwest version of what's David Lynch's first movie?
First movie,
Eraserhead.
Eraserhead. Yeah.
Yes, it's very much that vibe.
Hmm.
So yes, we had
Nice.
clamshells like that, but it's few and far between in these days.
Yeah. Wow, there you go.
Yes. I do need to get a copy of Jack Frost 2 on VHS because reasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Paul will be back next week with more physical media news.
Yes,
We've had
indeed.
a decent amount of stuff come in through the ether, but yeah, we'll be back to talk all about it with all y'all. And of course, Paul has a movie to pick for 2 weeks from now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know what it is as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, did you know Queen of the Ring's coming out on VOD soon?
Queen of the Ring.
Yes. The
Oh,
movie.
no, I did not know.
Yes, we'll have to keep an eye on that.
I thought that was a Lord of the Rings softcore or something you were talking.
Ooh, sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
Sure does. You know what else sounds like a good time? The podcasts on the Project Louder Podcast Network. Yes. And if you want to listen to those, head on over to www.projectlouder.net or anywhere else you consume audio-only content. Of course, we're also on YouTube. We have some uploads up there as well. All depends on what you like. We got different shows for different folks. It's all there. Again, www.projectlouder.net.
Absolutely.
And of course, scan that Amazon affiliate link in the top left corner and help the show out. You can buy anything on Amazon like you normally would, but through our link, and we get some.
Yes.
I'm TJ Bowser. That's Paul Ashford. He's handsome as hell. I'll see you guys next episode. Tally ho.
Tally ho.